I don't mind the twist. I have mixed feelings about it. I think there's just a little bit too many holes. Hello everybody, today I'm doing a review on the limited series His and Hers on Netflix. You know, all these streaming services these days don't want to commit to several seasons. They're afraid of that because they know they always want to cancel their shows after a season or two. So all these streaming services do mini-series and call them limited series to try and make it more impactful. That's what we got today on a show with a great setup based on a book of the same name, His and Hers, written by Alice Feeney. So like I said, it's a great setup, but then we have this controversial twist ending. So some of you might be watching this video having already saw the show and just want my opinion on my thoughts on the twist, probably. Or some of you might be watching this to see if you want to watch this show, but at some point you probably should stop listening in the middle of this video, because then you're just going to have too many spoilers and not want to watch, because the setup of this show is that it is kind of a mystery, thriller, crime type show where we start with a murdered woman in the forest on top of a car in a small town. We then cut to Anna, who is one of our main characters, played by Tessa Thompson, who is rushing home and downing alcohol because she is clearly frantic about something. Her face is swollen from an infected tooth. Then we see Detective Jack, played by Jon Bernthal. He is our other main character. Tessa Thompson and Jon Bernthal are his and hers, although we don't know that right off the bat. But Jack is a cop who seems to be a doting dad to a kid who he really seems to be taking care of. He has a sister staying with them, or he's staying with his sister actually, named Zoe. Jack is a detective and his partner name is Priya, and they head to the woods after hearing about this murder. Jack sees who the woman is that is murdered and is clearly not okay with it. He seems to know that the woman was cheating. She has a wedding ring, was stabbed multiple times. Was it a crime of passion? He also acts very suspicious and wants to be the first person to go through the woman's phone. Meanwhile, back in Atlanta, Anna apparently has been away from her job as a news reporter, as one of the main news reporters on the nightly news in Atlanta. She's trying to get her job back after a year, but the role has already been given to Lexi Jones, who is this typical pretty blonde woman. Her boss, Jim, understands that Anna would like her job back, but Lexi has the contract now, and Anna left them for a year. We come to find out that Anna left town because of the death of her child, and she's been dealing with that for quite a while now, which is what kept her away from her job. Anna decides to have the big idea. She somehow knows about this murder in this small southern town in Georgia named Dahlonega or something to that effect. That was one of the first things I found odd, is that Anna seemed to know about this murder right when it's being investigated by Jack and Priya. So that was probably one of the first things that should have made you go, But maybe news travels fast from Dahlonega to Atlanta. Anna's idea is to be a field reporter for that and try and impress Jim, try and at least keep a job with the news. Jim is hesitant about that, but lets Anna go and do that. Anna also decides to get a little bit of revenge on Lexi by taking along Lexi's husband, who is a cameraman for the news organization, named Richard, with her on this field reporting. It was the Richard and Lexi dynamic that first made me question the writing on this show, because I felt like it was a story that was unnecessary. I mean, little did I know that by the end they would do a pretty good job of tying Richard and Lexi to the overall story. So Anna and Richard go down to the small town, and the reporters are all trying to ask Jack questions Jack is shutting them all down, and then Anna asks if Jack knew the victim. Jack is clearly not only shocked by the question, because he clearly does know the victim, but he is shocked to see Anna as well. So after that, Richard and Anna go back to their hotel. They've been doing a lot of flirting. Jack is watching them from the outside. Jack goes to the hotel manager, which is someone played by someone from the soap opera Beyond the Gates that I cover every damn weekday on this channel. I can't pronounce her last name. It's very Italian. It's like Lauren Buglioli, something to that effect. Anyway, she plays Vanessa on Beyond the Gates. It was cool to see her, even if she only had 2 lines. But when Jack gets to Anna's hotel room, he can hear Anna and Richard having sex inside, and Jack is very upset by that, and they don't stop despite Jack's knocking. Come to find out, the big setup here is that Jack and Anna are married. And obviously they are the 2 that lost the child. And why is Jack now in this small town? Why is Anna in Atlanta? Who is the woman that was murdered? Well, Jack tells Anna that they both knew her. It was one of Anna's childhood friends, Rachel Hopkins. Rachel is our person that was murdered. And the next several episodes, we get some flashbacks to when Anna was younger with Rachel and some of these other kids involved at the time in a girls' school. At one point, Anna goes back to look at one of those old cameras that you could still see the video that was recorded. It's from Anna's Sweet 16 birthday party. It shows the girls Rachel, Zoe, which is Jack's sister, Helen, who is another friend, and this girl Catherine, who is overweight and would play a big part in these flashbacks. Rachel is painting Catherine's nails red. They also seem to have made handmade friendship bracelets for each other, while the coroner finds one of the friendship bracelets stuffed down dead Rachel's throat when examining her dead body. So the setup for these early episodes is that is Anna actually responsible for this? Or is Anna involved with this somehow? How did Anna... I was questioning from episode 1, how did Anna know about the murder when Jack and Priya were just beginning to investigate it? And I feel like the first 3, if not 4 episodes, do a good job of untangling the web of everything that is going on. And this is the point in the video. If you haven't seen the show and you do want to check it out, you should probably stop listening because the rest is very spoiler-filled for a mystery show. Turns out Jack was the one sleeping with the dead woman, Rachel. They were having an affair together, and Anna was visiting the grave of their dead baby and happened to see them having sex. This again makes us all question, is Anna the one responsible for this? And we have all these different characters who have some pretty good... I guess I want to say rivalries going on throughout this series, because we have Anna always kind of playing in Jack's face. Jack gave Anna information that Rachel was the one killed and told Anna not to say anything yet, but Anna goes and reports that, so of course Jack is furious about that. We also meet Anna's mother, Alice, who apparently has dementia, and since Anna has been away going through her own troubles, basically running away from all her troubles, Jack has been trying to take care of Anna's mother, who has dementia. That becomes a pretty important point later in the show, which I didn't realize it would become as important as it did. One of the main important things are the flashbacks on this show, because we learn that Rachel, Zoe, and Helen were basically mean girls, and they were always bullying the overweight girl Catherine, especially. At one point we see Rachel offer Catherine a drink at lunch at school. She takes a drink thinking she's being accepted into the group, only to Rachel laughing at Catherine to say it's soda mixed with her piss. So Catherine goes through that, and Catherine seems to always assume Anna is a part of that, because even though Rachel, Zoe, Helen kind of bully Anna as well at first, Anna does seem to slowly be accepted into their friend group because in flashbacks, Rachel seemed to have a crush on Anna and wanted to have sex with Anna. Rachel, clearly from jump, even when she was a teenager to her death, was definitely a sexual deviant, and I would say that that's how she is in flashbacks as well. But Anna was the one that called Catherine over to the lunch table when Catherine ended up drinking Rachel's piss. So Catherine has always suspected, at least in these flashbacks, that Anna was a big part of this group too. As the episodes go along in the flashbacks, there is this party that takes place where Rachel's trying to fuck Anna. Some boys come over with a bunch of alcohol, and things turn for the worse, and it seems as though the boys are going to try and rape poor Catherine. So all these flashbacks definitely paint Catherine as a huge victim to these mean girls in school. So by episode 4, to me anyway, it was pretty apparent that it's probably Catherine behind a lot of what is going on. Because after Rachel's death, while Jack and Anna are trying to question Helen, because apparently Helen and Rachel have stayed close, even though they have a lot of problems with each other too, Helen seems to also be in communication with Rachel's husband. Rachel was cheating on her rich husband with Jack at one point, and Helen does seem to know that. So at one point, Helen and Anna are playing mind games with each other when Anna's trying to get information out of Helen. But soon enough, Helen ends up dead too. We're once again left to wonder, is Anna the one getting revenge on these women from before? Has she lost her mind since losing her baby? I think that's what makes the first 3 episodes so engaging and leaves you wanting more, is because not only is the setup very well done, but I think Anna is a pretty fascinating character, even though I think Jack is a fascinating character too. I think the portrayal of both of them make them very entertaining characters in different ways. Anna is a little more serious, but like in a vengeful type way. At one point during the show, Anna as a character says it is hatred that gets her up in the morning, and you can kind of see that with the Anna character. Jack is kind of typical troubled cop, very rough around the edges, even with his partner Priya at times, but in a very entertaining way throughout. I also do like the connections to The Wire on this show. We have Nick Sabatka from The Wire, who is actor Pablo Schreiber. He plays Richard, the cameraman that is having sex with Anna but is really married to Lexi. Then Frank Sabatka is also a character on The Wire, played by Chris Bauer. He plays Clyde Duffy, who was Rachel's husband. So I like The Wire connection. The Wire is one of the best shows of all time. I will say, though, that about episode 4 is when the show quality takes a bit of a dive for me. It becomes a little less and less interesting, because I really did think that it was very obvious by that point that Catherine was the killer, and that Catherine was taking revenge for the girls obviously treating her horrible when she was a kid. I will say, I guess one thing the show could have focused on a little better is the Priya character. She did do a lot of investigating of her own, which kind of led her to Jack being the suspect, which that is another thing. I've talked a lot about how we question if Anna could be responsible for the murders, but like Jack clearly had motivation to kill Rachel as well if he was her lover. And so there's enough evidence by the end of the show that Priya seems to think that Jack could possibly be the killer, even though now they have a serial killer on their hands. Zoe, Jack's sister, becomes the other victim, which, by the way, something I didn't say is that Zoe was actually the one with the kid at the beginning, not Jack. Meg was Zoe's daughter, not Jack's, like we were led to believe in the first episode, because obviously Jack and Anna lost their kid. But I do feel as though Jack was trying to be a good father to Meg, since he obviously couldn't be a good father to his dead child. Once Zoe ends up dead, that's when Priya ends up finding Jack with blood on him, thinking Jack might be the killer. Jack has to get away from Priya using some aggressive circumstances because Anna might be in trouble. Anna ends up going away with Richard, Lexi's wife. And they kept the whole Lexi and Anna rivalry going at the news station. Anna was doing a good job of getting popular again for her field coverage on the murders, so Lexi ended up going down to the small town herself to do her own exclusive interview with Rachel's husband. So they did keep that rivalry going. For our big reveal towards the end was that Lexi was really Catherine. So Catherine, who was the overweight kid that was bullied all the time, grew up to get skinny and become hot, and now looks like she's getting revenge on all of these people. Richard is swearing the whole time, though, when Lexi and Richard are found out, which this comes after Priya ends up shooting Lexi dead to save Anna. But after Lexi's death, Richard is the one trying to say that this was not all part of the plan. They were just trying to set up Anna as the killer, but that they weren't really killing them. I've read a couple of things online saying that the show probably should have just ended here because it would have wrapped up the show nicely, that Catherine did end up being the killer, but they had the good twist of Lexi ending up being Catherine, so just ended there. But they didn't. Turns out that Catherine was not the killer. That was the big red herring the whole time. Who was the real killer? Well, it was Anna's mom, because as we get a flashback in the last episode, during that party when it seemed like Catherine was about to get raped by the three boys, Anna ended up saving her. And then Anna was the one that ended up getting raped by the boys. And so Alice, her mother, of course, is seeking revenge on all of these girls that caused Anna's life to be hell when she was younger, killing Rachel first. She also somehow saw Jack and Rachel fucking that night, even though Anna was the one on camera. Somehow Alice has avoided cameras this entire show so far. She was faking dementia. She is the one that killed Helen. She was the one that tried to set Catherine up at the end of the show. So that is our big twist in the end. We have our big red herring that it seems like it's probably Catherine the whole time. They have the good twist that Lexi is actually Catherine, but then that's the red herring and it's actually Alice the whole time. I don't mind the twist. I have mixed feelings about it. I think there's just a little bit too many holes that Alice was able to be so sneaky and not be on any cameras when Anna herself was on camera one time, but whatever. It still is a solid show overall. I still kind of feel like the twist was a little unnecessary in the end, but I also kind of get it. A lot of shows don't know how to end things these days. I noticed that. I don't think the ending ruins the show by any means, but it does kind of feel like the show had to leave info out the whole time to trick the viewers, to make it seem as though Catherine was the killer in the end when she wasn't. There's a lot of plot holes to, maybe not even a lot. There's some plot holes, though, to make that happen, to have the Alice twist at the end. But I also do kind of like that Alice... We learned this about Alice when Alice is writing Anna after Anna does have another child. And Alice talking about in that letter about how much she loved Anna and how much she did to protect Anna. And Anna seems happy to read this and smirking at the end, seeming as though Anna will love and protect her own child the same way. So I think it is a solid 6-episode series. I would probably grade it like a 75. I think I probably would have graded it around 80 or higher had they not had the twist, because sometimes you don't need a big twist in the end. Sometimes you just have to write a good story, and I feel like up until the point when Catherine turns out to Catherine and Lexi turn out to be the same person, it actually is a good story. And then you just have a twist for the last 30 minutes to kind of blow things up. But overall, I still think it was entertaining, and I don't like a lot of things on Netflix these days, so this is a pretty good change for Netflix series, even though it's not really a long-term series. It is a limited series. But I would recommend checking it out if you made it through this whole video. I mean, I ruined it all for you at this point. But let me know if any of you have watched it, what you thought about this series in the comments. Did you like the twist or not? Did you feel like they should have just ended it with the Catherine Lexi thing or not? Please let me know all of your opinions in the comments.